Hey guys, Rob Shoecraft here with Storm Fitness. Today I'm going to talk about my spray foam insulation in my gym. Super exciting topic here. Actually, it is kind of exciting for some people who are interested in insulating their gym, which is of course why I'm making the video. I have had a lot of questions about what I use. You see I have these open rafters. This gym's about 700 square feet, about 15 feet at the top. And yeah, I know I'm kind of foolish for not having a ceiling in here. It would do a lot better job of trapping the heat in, but I really like the open look. And you know, I have things like a climbing wall. I like to chuck wall balls up into the air sometimes. Just a couple things I couldn't do if I had a ceiling. And I'm just flat out being stubborn is really the end of the story. But nevertheless, I have this spray foam insulation. I apologize, folks, if I'm making you dizzy. A couple folks have said I've made them dizzy when I do these videos. I will try to keep the camera as still as possible. I got spray foam insulation as opposed to other insulation options because this stuff is super expensive. There's only one place around me where I live, Logan Insulation, I believe is the company I used a couple years ago, that do spray foam. So they I don't know if it was a fair price. It seemed pretty steep, but I was willing to pay for it. I had some money set aside for this specific deal, so I went with it. It was about $3 grand installed to do everything. And you have, so that included materials, installation of the insulation, and then taxes. So pretty steep. You know, if I had gone through and, you know, framed things out and put in more traditional insulation, I'd probably have a higher R value, and it'd maybe be less expensive. Maybe, I don't know, after I built all the walls and everything. I'm not exactly sure. I went with this though because it's pretty much one and done. From everything I read about spray foam insulation, once you put it in, even though it's probably the most expensive option, it's basically maintenance free. You're not going to have animals crawling through the insulation, through the walls, getting up underneath. It kind of acts as a seal, acts as a vapor barrier, does a pretty good job with moisture, although there were two spots up top where when I get tons of rain they'll leak. So basically I have an existing hole in the roof. I should probably just get up there and fix that, but I haven't. And I just had to go up there with Flex Seal and spray it, which did okay. I have to kind of touch it up every now and then. Other than that, no problem with moisture. It's pretty solid seal. Honestly, I kind of like the way it looks. It makes it look like an ice cave in here, which is, I don't know if that's good or not. It's kind of cool. Wink, pun. But let's talk a little about the R value. It's 7 per inch. So again, this stuff just sprays directly to the metal. I did not do it myself. Obviously, I've already mentioned that. I looked into videos about doing the insulation and I just said, no, I'll screw that up, too bad. I'll just pay somebody to do it, bite the bullet and have it done. And I'm glad I did, no regrets. Once I signed that check over, I just put it in the back of my mind. Now I'm here talking about it again, I'm feeling all bad about it, but honestly, it's pretty good. So you have, as far as looks go, let's talk about aesthetics real quick. You know, you have some spots that are kind of uneven. You know, this will come out like 2 inches versus, you know, kind of a uniform inch around the rest of it. But it's totally sealed everywhere. Like I said, with the exception of those couple of minor spots with the water. You know, you get like spray on the side of the wood. I mean, if that's a problem for you, then you can always just kind of chip it off with like with a scraper. I mean, it comes off pretty easily. I put an exhaust fan last summer up in the top. I'm spinning very slowly so I don't make anybody throw up. Exhaust fan in the summer, and it was pretty easy to scrape this stuff off. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was very doable. It took me a little bit of time, but I got it done. So, you know, it's not permanent in the sense that you can't do anything with it afterward if you want to put a window in or something. I got this combined with a 25,000 BTU Procom propane heater, 5-panel heater. And that does the job pretty well. I'm shooting this today because it's so freaking cold outside. It's single digits outside here in southeastern Ohio. Just to give you an idea how well this thing works, or this insulation works or how poorly it works, depending on how you look at it, depending on what you think of this. You know, yesterday the heater was cut off at about 6 o'clock in the evening, and it was about 55 degrees in here. There was nothing running in here overnight. Temperatures dropped to -5 below, not wind chill, but just flat out temperature, -5 below. I got to a high of about 3 this morning when I came down about 10 o'clock. Went to a Metallica concert last night in Cincinnati till 2 in the morning, so it was it was kind of a late start this morning. But anyways, it was 32 degrees in here when I came in. So basically it dropped from 55 to 32 over the course of, what, 15 hours, but that is with negative temperatures outside. So really pretty darn decent. It takes a little while to heat up in the morning. It just depends on how cold it is outside. This isn't rocket science. The colder it is outside, the harder it is to heat the barn. So I'll usually crank that thing up to 3 or 5. 5 is the max on that, on the output. And it may take, you know, it'll take a little while because I'm a bonehead and I don't have ceilings, I just have open rafters. It takes longer to heat up. So sometimes I'll point the fan up at the ceiling and just kind of get the hot air moving. But it'll take a couple hours to bring it up, say from like 32 degrees to 50, 55, whatever. So it likes to eat some propane. I spent a little bit of money here in the winter on propane, but it's so much better than when I had it originally without the insulation and realized, yeah, there's just no way I could train people down here. And when it's cold outside, it's just an ice box. So it really does a pretty darn good job. Looks sharp, like I said, it's expensive, but once it's done, you know, it doesn't crack. It's flexible. It's just basically virtually maintenance free once it's up there. I'm kind of repeating myself. I'm trying to think if there's any other points I wanted to make. There's different colors you can get it in. This is just the one. This is kind of like I can't know if you could, how well the lighting is. This is sort of like a light blue, grayish color. The sun does change the way it looks. If you can see over there in the corner, a lot of times in the summer, I have the doors open. And that is almost certainly from the sun. You can tell the discoloration there. I don't know if that's a concern for you. I don't particularly care, but it sort of looks like, you know, that's my smoking corner over there. People just sit there and just puff stogies while they in between sets. Maybe that's something we could. Oh, did you see that little leak there? I don't know if you saw that. That's what I'm talking about. That's live action, man. You saw it here first. I got to get up there on the ladder and get another freaking Flex Seal coverage. So all in all, it's not perfect, but it is, for all the benefits I mentioned. I'm going to quit talking now. I'm glad I have it. And I'm just going to keep it this way for ever and ever because it's supposed to last forever and ever. It's also environmentally friendly. I'm told, I don't know the details of that, but it's one of the more environmentally friendly insulation solutions. So if that's important to you, which it should be, you can have a guilt-free warm winter. All right, guys, Rob Shuker, I have 3-Star Fitness. If you got any questions about spray foam or anything else you saw in my gym, or exercises or whatever, let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and have a terrific day. Was that suave enough? Was that suave enough for you, Craig? All right, see you guys.